Are you looking to surprise that special someone with a bouquet of some of the world's most expensive flowers? If so, this ranking will help guide you in the right direction. Here are the top 10 most expensive flowers on Earth. 10. Calla lily. The famous calla lily is arguably the most elegant and feminine flower there is. These flowers are regarded as symbols of beauty and fertility because of their blooms, which resemble upside-down bells, and their petals, which gently curve into nearly perfect circles. A bouquet of calla lilies, however, might be expensive to give as it can cost up to $8 per stem. It's also important to remember that calla lilies contain calcium oxalate crystals, which in humans can have a mild toxic effect. It is advised to avoid keeping cut calla lily flowers in households with dogs, cats, or young children because these crystals can be hazardous to animals. Why does it cost so much? The most expensive of the bunch are frequently tall-stemmed calla lilies with snow-white blossoms because of their elegant appearance and utility as wedding decorations. Smaller, more vibrant species are frequently more reasonably priced. 9. Pink blossom hydrangea. However, you could choose to go with the pink blossom hydrangea if you want to buy the priciest and most stunning hydrangea blooms. This flower isn't the most expensive in the world, but it's up there at up to $9 per stem. Why does it cost so much? Hydrangea blossoms come in a variety of color variations. This occurs as aluminum is absorbed by or excreted from the soil surrounding their root systems. Because of this, hydrangea flowers require a lot of attention and soil testing to maintain their delicate, vivid pink color. Many farmers demand premium pricing for their pink hydrangea flowers as a result. 8. Lily of the Valley. Lily of the Valley flowers are popular for gardens and indoor containers because of their seductive aroma. Each tiny flower's white hue is reminiscent of newly fallen snow, and the bell-shaped blossoms are delicately suspended from the plant's similarly fragile stem. As you might anticipate, lily of the valley flowers are a must-have for weddings of all sizes due to their delicate nature, sweetness, and distinctive shape. You might want to reconsider include these blossoms in your tabletop floral arrangements, though, given their $17 per stem price. It's also important to remember that lily of the valley is extremely deadly, just like many other lilies. So even though you would associate those bell-shaped flowers with wedding bells, if swallowed, they could send your elegant guest to the hospital. Why does it cost so much? The short shelf life and scarce availability of lily of the valley flowers are the main causes of their high cost. No matter how diligently you care for them, these flowers will wilt and deteriorate as soon as they are cut. These flowers are also difficult to locate throughout the rest of the year because they typically only bloom for approximately a month in spring or early summer. 6. Gardenia. One of the main factors contributing to weddings being so expensive is the exorbitant expense of flower decorations and arrangements. And if you want a few gardenias to enhance your special day, be prepared to shell out a lot of money, up to $38 per flower. That's correct, flower sellers make a lot of money selling these fragrant blooms. However, they are also among the most cherished flowers, particularly for important occasions like weddings. Gardenia flowers have a pleasing appearance and are also capable of releasing a variety of scents that fill the air with a blend of tropical, peppery, and sweet overtones. Why does it cost so much? Gardenia flowers are expensive for two reasons: demand and maintenance. As mentioned previously, these flowers are some of the most sought-after blooms for weddings due to their glowing white petals and captivating aromas. But cutting and transporting these flowers can be challenging. Gardenia petals tend to bruise easily and wilt quickly, so those who'd like to order gardenias, but don't live near a nursery that sells them, often have to pay exorbitant prices for rapid and specialized shipping. 6. Gardenia. One of the main factors contributing to weddings being so expensive is the exorbitant expense of flower decorations and arrangements. And if you want a few gardenias to enhance your special day, be prepared to shell out a lot of money, up to $38 per flower. That's correct, flower sellers make a lot of money selling these fragrant blooms. However, they are also among the most cherished flowers, particularly for important occasions like weddings. Gardenia flowers have a pleasing appearance and are also capable of releasing a variety of scents that fill the air with a blend of tropical, peppery, and sweet overtones. Why does it cost so much? Gardenia flowers are expensive for two reasons: demand and maintenance. As mentioned previously, these flowers are some of the most sought-after blooms for weddings due to their glowing white petals and captivating aromas. But cutting and transporting these flowers can be challenging. Gardenia petals tend to bruise easily and wilt quickly, so those who'd like to order gardenias, but don't live near a nursery that sells them, often have to pay exorbitant prices for rapid and specialized shipping. 5. White frill lisianthus. It can be difficult to define a bunch of flowers, but most expert botanists and flower arrangers use the grower's bunch definition of 5 to 10 stems. When it comes to white frill lisianthus, you could be looking at as few as 2 or as many as 6 blooms per stem because the quantity of blossoms on each stem varies. It is challenging to determine the precise cost of each flower due to variety, but one thing is for sure, white frill lisianthus is one of the most expensive flowers on earth. This popular floral wedding decoration costs up to $56 each bunch, between 10 and 60 blooms, which might significantly deplete your bank account. However, these blooms are definitely gorgeous, so the cost might be justified. Why does it cost so much? Lisianthus flowers are a common choice for weddings, especially ones that are pure ivory or dazzling white in color. The demand for white lisianthus blooms is therefore very high. The main cause of its high price is the very high demand. Nevertheless, these blooms aren't quite as pricey as some of the most expensive bonsai trees in existence. In comparison to some of the most expensive orchids in the world, such as the gold of Kinabalu, they are also inexpensive. 4. Gold of Kinabalu, Rothschild slipper orchid. The Rothschild slipper orchid is another name for the gold of Kinabalu orchid. It has the appearance of being from another world. With a tall, striped upper petal and a center petal with a red tip that mimics the tip of a pointed shoe, the flowers have an almost diamond-like structure. These petals are strikingly eye-catching due to their yellow, black, and red striped patterns. However, you should prepare to shell out roughly $5,000 per stem if you want to add one to your kitchen vase. These blooms are in risk of extinction, and just as with other threatened species, getting one for yourself can be expensive. In addition, this particular orchid is exclusively found in the jungle near rivers that surround Mount Kinabalu. It will therefore be costly to import one to your location. However, what else would you anticipate from a flower whose name includes the word Rothschild? Why does it cost so much? The flower is an expensive bloom because of its scarcity and isolated environment. The gold of Kinabalu is a slow-growing plant as well. The growth and blooming of its flowers can sometimes take more than 10 years. 3. Shenzhen Nonc orchid. One of the most costly plants in the world is the Shenzhen Nonc orchid. Additionally, its blooms are astronomically expensive, and it's easy to see why. The Shenzhen Nonc orchid, after all, only blooms once every 5 years. If you kept going at that rate, you might only see it bloom a dozen or so times throughout your whole life. The Shenzhen Nonc orchid's uniqueness is further enhanced by the fact that it is the product of over 10 years of meticulous propagation. This orchid was developed by experts from Shenzhen Nonc University over the course of 8 years, and because it is edible, the uncommon blossom is prized as a delicacy. A single blossom from the Shenzhen Nonc orchid sold for an incredible $203,000, originally 1.68 million Chinese yuans, in 2005 when it was put up for auction. Why does it cost so much? Any plant that only bears 2 blossoms every 10 years will inevitably grow to be valuable vegetation. The high cost of this plant is also attributed to the bloom, which is a delectable culinary treat. 2. Sweet Juliet Rose. What other name for a rose would smell as sweet? Even though Juliet Capulet from William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet might have thought the response was unambiguously yes, she was never able to see the sweet Juliet Rose that bears her name. It took more than 10 years for the sweet Juliet Rose, Rosa aus Lippe, an English rose, to become a reality. David Austin developed this one-of-a-kind peach-colored rose after countless cross-hybridizations and a ton of trial and error. This blushing bloom is thought to have cost Austin a total of $5 million. Of course, a sweet Juliet Rose plant can now be purchased for under $40. Hopefully Austin is making enough money from his vast Shropshire rose garden to enable him recoup the cost of making this rose. Why does it cost so much? Similar to the most expensive chickens in the world, an animal's, or plant's, value can be significantly influenced by its hue. With the sweet Juliet Rose, it is unquestionably the case. It stands out from other roses thanks to its distinctive hue. Although the rose's blossoms aren't worth millions of dollars, the cost of developing this unique hybrid far exceeds that of the typical gardener. 1. Kadupul Flower, Queen of the Night. The Kadupul flower, commonly known as the Queen of the Night flower, Epiphyllum occipitalum, is the most expensive flower. Despite the plant that produces this flower being reasonably priced, because of how quickly it blooms, the flowers are regarded as being priceless. The majority of flowering plants have multiple weeks of blooming, or, under ideal circumstances, year-round blooming. For a week or more, individual blooms maintain their vibrancy. However, the Kadupul flower only blooms for a brief period of time and only during a full moon. Why does it cost so much? While many flowers are valued for their beauty and fragrance, the Kadupul flower is regarded as being invaluable due to its brief bloom period. A queen of the night flower cannot be cut and displayed because, once detached from their stalks, the blooms quickly wilt and pass away. Additionally, the Kadupul flower only blooms and displays its beauty in the wee hours of the morning, 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunlight causes the blossom to almost instantly disintegrate. These stunning white flowers are only visible to those who are prepared to stay up all night to photograph them. Money won't be able to undo this. Become acquainted with more about the most expensive plants and animals in the world. So please like and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.